Hey everyone, welcome on to your mat. I'm Tyra. For those who I don't know, welcome. And for those who are returning, welcome back. So today we're going to be breaking down downward facing dog. So first and foremost, you can use blocks if you'd like, or even books, really thick books, whatever works for you. Might be a little better because then you can have a little bit of a read afterwards. If you ever have tight wrist, and I definitely did when I started doing yoga, I would suggest watching the video on wrist exercises. If you do use your block today for your downward facing dog, I ask that it's either a non-grip at the bottom of it, so this one's pretty good, and it depends on what kind of floor you're working on as well, or you can literally just shove your blocks right onto the corner of a wall, so you know you're not going to move, right? Because our shoulder loves mobility, but we want to make sure that it's in its socket when we're moving. So that being said, let's get started. So the most important thing in downward facing dog is your hands. So where the action is in your hands. The actions of your hands is your top knuckle and the base of your palm. So the knuckles on your palm are pressing into the floor and the tops of your fingers of those knuckles are pressing down. I'm double jointed naturally, and my fingers kind of want to lift up, and that's okay. You just want to make sure that this part of your finger's down and your knuckle palm is down. And the heel of your hand is doing a lot of work. So when we start to go into our downward facing dog, you're using the heel of your hand to press your whole body back, right? And I'm going to add a little bit of Pilates into this already because I have seen a huge difference bringing my Pilates practice into my yoga practice. As yoga teachers, we kind of really love to just really get expressive and really kind of go as far as we can into some postures. And that's not necessarily the best thing we can do for our body. We're not really protecting it. So when I get into downward facing dog, you can see me from the side, right? My ribs are starting to flare, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my ribs back towards my hips. When I allow myself to pull my ribs down towards my hips, I'm already starting to work more of my abdominals, and I'm taking out a little more weight into some other parts of my bodies that might not necessarily like it. So your footprint for downward facing dog is a high plank. So your fingers will spread out wide and your fingers are always going to face forward. So find that position, and again, if your wrists are feeling tight, you can always walk your hands onto a block like so, or you can curl your mat, and the heel of your hand, you're just going to kind of let it go over the edge, right? So the heel of your hand is only there. So from here, fingers wide, shoulders down our back. We're going to curl our toes, maybe walk one foot back, then the other already into your high plank. Shoulders are coming down our back again, and we're wrapping them down into a V. Take a deep inhale. And so you're using the heel of your hand, you're bending your elbows, and you're going to lift your hips up high, bend your knees. Hang out here. So pedal your knees up and down. You can walk your feet in a little more. This is your practice. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Just make sure it feels okay in your body. Now, I'm going to face you a little more. You can see my shoulders, right? We're kind of hanging in on my shoulders. Now from the top of my shoulder, I'm going to rotate the eye of my elbows to face you. So it's going to look more like this. Ooh, did you see how much more space I got from that? Instead of here, I wrapped from my shoulder blade and the shoulder socket, right? Shoulder socket is doing the work, and I'm able to press back further. Right, and bend your knees as much as that feels comfortable. Take a deep breath in here. And exhale, come down to your knees. Shake it off. All right, so that's a little bit of how to do downward facing dog. Feel free to send me an email if you have any questions on how that felt in your body or anything like that. So there's that, and I'll see you next time.